distension patterns and esophageal dysphagia. Please join me in welcoming him.
Thank you, Dr. Zifan, all organizers of the Latin Ensemble, and thank you to the audience, and for our fellow colleagues that are celebrating Chinese New Year, Lunar New Year, to all of you. So we're going to go up in the esophagus, and so we're going to study about how understanding using artificial intelligence to understanding contraction and distension patterns in esophageal dysphagia. Now, approximately 16% of the US population suffers from dysphagia. Half of them seek medical attention, and they usually hook them up with barium swallows, endoscopy, and then biopsy. And if everything is normal, they do what is called a high-resolution manometry, as it's the gold standard as a final diagnostic tool to assess esophageal motility disorders. Now, functional dysphagia itself is a disease of exclusion, so symptoms should be present at least 3 months. You should not have any anatomical abnormalities, no presence of reflux or any other motility disorders. Studies show that about 20% of dysphagia patients have primary esophageal motility disorders, and 30 to 50% in these patients, the HRM results are normal, and they usually label them as functional dysphagia, and they say it's sensory dysfunction, and our actual results are showing otherwise. It's a motor dysfunction. And their treatment typically involves psychoactive medications that only provide partial relief. Now, in terms of prevalence, studies going back to 1987 by Castel show like 47% of so patients showing up at the motility clinics complain of dysphagia, but their manometry is totally normal. And the work by the Chicago group, also 35% of patients showing at their clinics complain of dysphagia, but show, like, according to the Chicago classification, they are normal. In our own motility lab, 38% of patients complaining of dysphagia are classified as normal by the Chicago classification. But once you tell them you're normal, they think they're paranoid that they're not. So as I mentioned previously, the HRM is the gold standard in assessing motor function of the esophagus. It measures pressures at regular intervals across the length of the esophagus and displays them as a heat map, as you can see here. And brighter colors is like higher pressures, the contractions. And it's a typical catheter they insert through the nose. It has both pressure and impedance sensors, typically 36 pressure sensors and 18 impedance cells. So as I mentioned before, manometry, as it stands, it only measures the contraction phase of peristalsis. And the Chicago classification is based on pressure. But as we know, peristalsis is initial relaxation followed by contraction. So what if these dysphagic people have problems in their distension phase? So so when you do actually manometry, you also have impedance sensors. If you do simultaneous ultrasound with manometry, and if you see the impedance channel shown orange, you see the dilation of the esophagus, let's say at a certain level above the lower sphincter. It coincides with the drop in impedance. So actually you can use laws of physics to estimate distension from impedance, and that's what we did like around a decade ago, and we introduced such a different methods and visualizations of, for the first time, actually visualizing distension. You can see in red and pressure in blue. We also introduced a cylindrical form pressure because the physician can see the pressure overlap on the distension. So the good news is finally, probably after a decade too late, the GI community is finally catching up on, I see like the published papers that they're also finding out actually problem with dysphagia might be motor related. Even the Chicago group is talking about moving beyond the Chicago group, which is ironic. So we have the specific aims of this in the short term. We want to see if the additional distension allows us to have a better diagnostic tool in assessing esophageal dysphagia. In the first aim, we will use artificial intelligence or convolutional neural networks in studying the differences between normal and functional dysphagia patients. In the second aim, we will explore if other esophageal motility disorders, which also suffer from dysphagia, such as Jacquemin esophagus, esophageal or achalasia type 3. Is the lack of distension the root cause of this dysphagia patients? And we will also find the ideal combination of bolus volume and body posture and the optimal AI agent architecture to effectively differentiate between normal and dysphagia patients. And finally, as these CNN architectures are not tailored to the esophagus, we will seek actual advancement in these architectures themselves, the architectural optimization of the neural networks. Now, for AIM-1, before I go to the preliminary results, this is a sample 53-year-old female patient, 2 years of dysphagia, 3 years of heartburn. She has symptoms every day, difficulty swallowing solids, more than liquids. She doesn't have any weight loss. And as you can see, her barium score according to radiologist is normal, no evidence of reflux. And if you do the lower sphincter endoscopy near the Z-line, normal endoscopy. This is her HRM, beautiful peristalsis, normal contraction rates. In terms of clearance, everything seems normal, so she's classified as normal according to the Chicago classification. And this, what you see here, actually is the 4 distinct swallows of a patient, of a normal subject. Red is distension, and blue is a contraction of a normal subject. Distension and contraction. Now check this out for this female subject. Do you see any difference? So when you see her distension patterns, she doesn't have any, she has poor distension, although her pressure signals look normal. This is another way to visualize it, the distension, and this female patient. So I used to work in cardiology. I call it the arrhythmia of the esophagus. So you can see like the distension is arrhythmic. So going back to some preliminary results, we studied 20 asymptomatic normals and 20 with functional dysphagia. Dysphagia score more than 10. We studied 2 protocols, the routine protocol of 5 cc supine and 10 cc Trendelenburg position. And the region of interest was confined from the pharyngeal opening to the end of the contraction. We fed the pressure and distension images to 4 cutting-edge state-of-the-art neural network architecture. The first from Oxford, AGNet, Inception from Google, Resonant DenseNet. I don't want to get into the detailed description of how they work, but they extract different information from the input images. Okay. And their difference is how the neurons in these networks are connected to each other and how they learn the input data and result and output. Okay? Let's just leave it at that. Now, the results we got actually, if you combine pressure and distension using a 5-fold cross-validation, you get accuracy of 96%, almost 97%, by adding distension, compared to just using pressure, just 87%. This is AIM-1. So next, we want to see, do we see the same pattern in other motility disorders? This was functional dysphagia. What about eczema? What about achalasia? What about Jackman esophagus? So we studied 5 different groups. The goal here was to assess if distension features enhance the AI diagnostic accuracy. Now you can see in the first column, pressure and distension pattern of the normal subject, the one from Jackman esophagus, from functional dysphagia, achalasia, and eczema, this sample subject in the supine position. We found out actually you can achieve accuracies of 98%. Recall is the same as sensitivity, 98%. And if you turn the patient down and increase the volume from 5 cc to 10 cc in the Trendelenburg position, actually using distension alone, you can get accuracies of 88%. So which actually again underscores the role of distension, which has been overlooked for the last 3 decades. This is a sample result of a normal subject, outflow obstruction subject, Jackman esophagus, and functional dysphagia. You can see the patterns of distension is different in the dysphagic